This video has just gone viral of an intruder making it to some fashion show where he walks down the runway wearing a plastic bag before a security guard stops him. There he is. This guy's got a shower cap on. He's got some kind of plastic bag or poncho. And then he's strutting, and then finally a security guard takes him down. And the reason this is going viral, I don't know when this was shot, I don't know where this was shot, but the reason it's going viral is not because of the guy. This was a good prank, he pulled it off well. It's because the audience looks completely nonplussed. So, yeah, there it is. There's high fashion. And we all know this. Even if this were just a sketch on Saturday Night Live or something, we've all seen this happen before, where some modern artist will show something that's not beautiful, that's not particularly intricate, that a 3-year-old could have put together in 2 seconds. And because of the pretensions of the artist and of our culture, you'll have otherwise serious, well-dressed, wealthy, elite people looking at it, trying to pretend as though there's some deeper meaning or that it's in some way aesthetically pleasing. How does this happen? This is what happens when art in a society ceases to be connected to beauty. Right now, go to ramp.com/Knowles. Are you looking for a better way to simplify your business finances across expenses, vendor payments, and accounting? If so, Ramp could be a complete game changer for your business. Ramp is a corporate card and expense management software designed to help you save time and money. With Ramp, you can issue cards to every employee with limits and restrictions and automate expense reporting so you can stop wasting time at the end of every month. Ramp's accounting software automatically collects receipts and categorizes your expenses in real time so you don't have to. The time that you will save each month on employee expenses will allow you to close your books 8 times faster. Businesses that use Ramp save an average of 3.5% within the first year. Ramp is easy to use. Get started in less than 15 minutes, whether you've got 5 or 5,000 employees. Right now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Go to ramp.com/Knowles, ramp.com/Knowles. Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. The reason that this guy was able to walk down the runway in a plastic bag and have people take that seriously as high fashion is because art, for at least 100 years now, has not been connected to beauty any longer. Art has become critical, self-referential, ironic, and really just a form of anti-art, a deconstruction of art. You see this most clearly with an artist like Marcel Duchamp. He's the modern artist who put a urinal in the middle of the floor and said, this is a work of art, the fountain. By the way, I say this as a modern artist. I don't want to toot my own horn here, folks. I am one of the most prominent modern artists in the world today. My modern art piece, Reasons to Vote for Democrats, A Comprehensive Guide, a #1 best-selling blank book that continues to sell oodles and oodles of copies. That is a work of modern art. That is a deconstruction of the form of the book. And I'm a regular Marcel Duchamp, but I'm a regular Damien Hirst. But with all of those artists, I get a kick out of some of the work of like a Damien Hirst, who, he's got all these weird works of art, like a big shark in formaldehyde or polka dots or whatever, or even Marcel Duchamp with the urinal. But it's purely an intellectual and critical endeavor. It's critical, it's not artistic, it's not beautiful. When you disconnect from the transcendentals, the good, the true, and the beautiful, you are left in this morass of relativism, according to which you don't know if a guy wearing a garbage bag is really wearing high fashion. And in that society, because we know that it's not beautiful, we're not attracted to it in any way, we just have to take our cues from everybody else. You kind of find yourself looking around you. Is that person taking the art seriously? Is that person taking the art seriously? And then you convince yourself that ugly works of art are actually beautiful and worth lots of money. That's a society that's much more volatile. And I think it helps to explain from the artistic angle some of the political volatility that we're seeing that was less common in earlier ages of our country and our civilization, because we're not grounding our views and our behaviors in anything objective and real anymore. The good, the true, and the beautiful are objective. They're unchanging. We can discourse rationally about them. This kind of crap, the modern art and the wearing garbage bags around and urinals pretending to be fine works of sculpture. There's nothing objective about that. It's all socially contextualized. It's all contingent on the feelings of the people in the room, which can change rapidly because man's passions are wild and the imagination of man's heart is evil from the beginning. Expect more volatility the more crazy, kooky art we get. There's a new study out, very helpful to the pro-life cause and very helpful to poor little babies who are being targeted by liberals. It knocks down a lie that we've heard, which is that abortion is not painful to babies. Abortion is not painful to babies. At a certain point, it becomes painful. And when the babies are capable of pain, then maybe we'll have some restrictions on it. But early on in pregnancy, it's just not painful. So just, we can poison them and chop them up, and they don't feel any pain. And that's obviously not true. And I think we all know intuitively that that's not true. Well, we've got a study now that backs it up. It's called Reconsidering Fetal Pain by two medical professionals, Stuart Derbyshire and John C. Bachman. What the study says is, fetal pain has long been a contentious issue, in large part because fetal pain is often cited as a reason to restrict access to termination of pregnancy or abortion. Very clinical language. But he says, we have divergent views regarding the morality of abortion, but have come together to address the evidence for fetal pain. So they're saying, look, we're not both pro-lifers, we're not both pro-abortion, we have different views on abortion, but we're just addressing, do these babies actually feel pain? And they say, at 12 weeks gestation, there were the first projections from the thalamus into the cortical subplate, and then they use a bunch of scientific jargon to explain how we think that pain begins much, much later in pregnancy, but actually, no, it doesn't, as people think now, begin around 24 weeks. It probably starts around 12 weeks gestation. And so what the conclusion is, fetal analgesia and anesthesia should thus be standard for abortions in the second trimester, especially after 18 weeks, when there is good evidence for a functional connection from the periphery and into the brain. So this is an amazing conclusion. What they're saying is, look, we used to think there was pain starting at 24 weeks, that the babies would feel the pain. Now we think it could be as early as 12 weeks, and it's certainly as early as 18 weeks. So when you murder your baby at 12 to 24 weeks, give him an anesthetic and then chop him up or poison him or inject him full of saline solution. But when you're about to murder your child, just know he's in excruciating pain. So you're going to want to give him an anesthetic before you chop him up. What woman, maybe some psychopath doctor, abortionist doesn't care about any of that. But what mother is going to say, wait, my baby feels pain? So, okay, if I'm going to have to give him an anesthetic so I can kill him. Well, if I give him an anesthetic, he sounds kind of like a person because people feel pain. So he doesn't feel just like a clump of cells anymore. Maybe I shouldn't kill my kid. Now, what's amazing here is the fact of whether or not a baby in the womb feels pain should not be all that morally relevant. There are people who can't feel pain. They're still people. We still shouldn't murder them. The question is this baby a baby? Is this a human being? Is this a live person? One of the aspects of being a living person is that you feel pain often. And much of the time you are capable of feeling pain. But that shouldn't actually matter to the moral question of whether or not it's right to kill an innocent little baby, whether he feels pain or not. And yet it is relevant. Politically, it is relevant. Because as a friend of mine says, facts don't care about your feelings. But politics, I will complicate the phrasing, politics largely cares about your feelings. And the science here is on our side. And the science doesn't just exist in a vacuum. Our bodies don't just exist in a vacuum. The facts of this world don't exist in a vacuum. The physical facts of this world imply certain metaphysical things and moral things, and they pull on our heartstrings for good reason. And this is all the more reason for the conservatives, as we get a new generation of leadership and we stop being so squishy, to get even tougher on these laws and stand up for objective truth. So we don't live in a subjectivist, relativistic civilization where we've got urinals all over the floors pretending to be art. Boy, what a great clip that was now. But make sure that you ring that bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles Show podcast and show and channel and clips. We'll see you next time.